So I'm going to start with everyone's most favorite and familiar question. What was your first computer?
I can still remember it very clearly. When I got a Macintosh, I think it was a Power Mac. I can't remember the model. I still have it. It's in my basement, my parents' house in Michigan. But yeah, I remember when I got my first computer, absolutely.
Was it a big day? Your parents brought it home, or how did it happen? Like,
yeah, I mean, it was like we went to Best Buy, a place that I haven't been in 10 years. But we went to Best Buy, and I'm pretty sure my father chunked out half of his paycheck.
Well, it was a big purchase back in the day. It was really difficult to get a computer. It took a lot of sacrifice, for sure.
I don't even think back then that I don't even think initially we had a modem. I mean, I think the first time I spent on the computer was mainly playing like, very, very basic games, just learning how it worked.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, for a while, I was just amazed to have a mouse. Like, moving a mouse around was a whole new thing.
Well, you're a little older than me. My first computer, we had a mouse and a graphical interface and all that, but the internet was very, very basic when I was getting started.
And so what did you do with the computer? What kind of things interested you inside of it?
I think in the beginning, like, my parents did never use a computer and knew nothing about it. And it was just kind of interesting to kind of learn how it worked. And I can remember always just kind of playing with things, I was always copying files onto different floppy disks and trying to compress things and trying to just experimenting and playing around and such like that. I mean, the first few years that I had a computer, the majority of things I was using it for was just basic word processing.
Sure.
And like being able to use the mouse and Paint. Paint is a Windows application.
Sure. Like the Mac Paint or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, though, if I had to remember back in the early days of computing, I think the coolest thing in the beginning of computing was when Napster came out. And all of a sudden, I mean, you had this whole community of people that were sharing music, and it just changed the entire world of how we find music, how we listen to music, how we enjoy music. I think that was probably the most, awakening point in the early days of computing. Almost as cool as Bitcoin even, but I shouldn't have said that. But yeah.
Well, I remember at first, well,